and wide receivers. Um, there we go. Perfect. On the same page, Coach. You can see you'll be able to see everybody's social media as well as their recruiting areas. And so make sure that you continue to follow our staffs and connect with everybody. Next up, we have Coach Sosinski. Coach Sosinski is our defensive coordinator. He coaches our linebackers. He also serves as our recruiting coordinator. This will be Coach Sosa's 4th year on staff. Our 2 brand new coaches, first and foremost, we have Coach Reardon, who's our special teams coordinator, coaches our defensive backs. He's also our human performance coordinator. I'm thrilled to have Coach Reardon with our staff now. Our second new hire is Coach Hoy. Coach Hoy comes to us from Philadelphia. He's our offensive line coach, our run game coordinator. We have Coach Naparella, our defensive line coach, comes to us from Green Bay. He's going in season 22 of football coaching. He works with our defensive line. And we have Coach Weaver, proud 2021 graduate of Lawrence University, a former school record holding quarterback. He works on our offensive side of the football, also works on Res Life on campus, and he coaches our running backs. 2 of our coaches that you won't see on slides, but are certainly a part of our football family. I think Coach Immediato is with us tonight, a recent graduate of our institution, a biology major, also played on the D line. He's our director of football operations. And we have another coach that'll be joining our staff, working with our tight ends group as we continue to move forward with this football season. As we transition here, just want to give you guys a little bit of a feel of who we are as coaches, the guys that you're going to be spending a ton of time with if and so you choose to join our football family. First and foremost, we are selfless and servant leaders for the young people that we have the privilege to coach and mentor. Everything that we do in our football family is built and designed around the growth and development of our young people. We are passionate about your development in the classroom, on the football field, and in life. We're so thrilled and excited and honored to have the opportunity to walk this journey with the young men that we get to coach. We are football junkies, constantly learning, constantly growing, over 65 years of football experience just in our staff, and we are tireless workers, always trying to find ways to help our guys grow, develop, and ultimately be the best possible football players and men as they finish their 4-year journey in our football family. We are big picture thinkers, process oriented. We are going to have a plan for each and every single one of you, and we are driven by your successes. And so for you guys, we make it pretty easy. And then last and certainly not least, we coach with a kiss and a kick. Attitudes, behaviors that we like seeing, we're going to celebrate. We're going to put it on the pedestal. And then when we have to take care of business, we're certainly going to take care of business. But it's always about you guys. We're not ass chewers just to do it. All right. But we certainly make sure that we have conversations and we take full advantage of learning moments. What you can expect from us on a day-to-day, week-to-week, term-to-term basis, first and foremost, is to provide a schedule and a structure that will allow you a direct path to overwhelming academic and athletic success. Again, it is all about you, providing our athletes with consistent accountability to your goals, dreams, and ambitions. The moment that you join our football family, those goals, dreams, and ambitions become ours, and we're going to work relentlessly with you to help you accomplish each and every single one of them. We're going to have a relentless pursuit of excellence on the football field, in the classroom, and in our personal life. We are not afraid to talk about greatness, and we are going to work to be great every single day. Our support for you and your experience is going to be second to none in regards to your success. We leave no stones unturned, and it is always going to be about more than just football. And then I think probably most importantly, we got to make sure that we are providing the best possible academic and athletic experience that we can, making sure that you have a phenomenal understanding of your tools and resources, not only as a student, but as an athlete, and making sure that we are continuing to do everything that we can to bring those things to your fingertips so that you can be successful. And this next shot here, you're able to take a look at some of our facilities. In the lower right-hand corner, you see an outside shot of Alexander Gymnasium. Our proud home, or our football suites are our weight room and some meeting rooms, athletic training, so on and so forth. Top left and right below, you'll see our football suite. That football suite is for you guys. Our office doors are always open. Our guys spend a ton of time over here with us. 12 and a half foot cubic refrigerator that stays stocked with Powerade protein, water, refrigerator with snacks. We are certainly able to assist in your growth and development. Our protein counter, everything that we have for our guys right there. And then down the hall, and you see it in that top right picture, is our weight room. 10 brand new racks. We've replaced every single straight bar. We added football grip bars, replaced all of our hex bars, 2 brand new lat pull down machines, 3 glute hams, brand new plyos, brand new med balls, and then of course 30 yards of blue turf right there in the middle. And we are only continuing to add to that space to help our young people develop. In this next slide, you'll be able to see some of our football facilities. Gilboy Athletic Center that houses our locker room, as well as our athletic training room down at the football stadium. You can see pictures right there of 2 sides of our locker rooms. That space is 100% for you guys. 2 50-inch flat screens in there. Got some video games and some other things as well. And key card entry and access for you guys so that you can go down there, spend time with one another, fellowship. We have wireless internet, everything that you need right there in that space. And then a couple more shots of the Bonta Bowl. Of course, I'm a little bit biased, but I think that we have one of the best small college facilities in the country down in the bowl, and continuing to work relentlessly to pack that grandstand with more and more Viking students, our faculty, our staff, and then Appletonians around the community coming and watching the Vikings compete. All of our facilities are key card access for our athletes. You saw Alexander Gym, you see the Bonta Bowl. We don't share those spaces. The only people that you're rubbing elbows with in there are other athletes, and you have access to those spaces pretty much year round. And now I'm going to transition over here to Coach Reardon, talk to you a little bit more about LU and what it can do for you.
Yeah, guys, we really want to make sure that throughout this recruiting process, obviously, we want to find young men that strive on the football field, but more importantly in the classroom. And the reason for that is we want to be able to invest our time and our resources into you guys to help you achieve all of your aspirations. We're never going to be naysayers or close the door on you guys. And you can see from the motto of the college that light more light, that's a big part of it. You know, truth is light. At Lawrence University, we want our students' minds to emanate and disperse darkness with its devotion to excellence and integrity in all of its activities, and committed to the development of intellect and talent, the pursuit of knowledge and understanding, and the cultivation of sound judgment. Okay. We want to be able to prepare students for lives of achievement, responsible and meaningful citizenship, lifelong learning, and personal fulfillment. It's a big part of what we do here, and we think we have the attributes around the campus to do that. When you look at kind of the investment in you, when we talk about the investment in you, we'll show you a couple of our outcomes that we've been able to really kind of hang our hat on in the last few years, and what, you know, we've been, you know, known for nationally in terms of accolades. I know a lot of institutions that you guys are looking at in terms of the recruiting process will tell you, hey, this is what we're ranked for, and this is what we're known for. And I think that's very important. That's part of the process. The way we see it is we see you guys as your own brand. We see you guys as entities. And it's our job, it's the campus's job, not just the athletics and the coaches, but the campus's job to completely invest into you. It is our job to make sure that every aspect of your life, from the moment you step foot on our campus to the point that you leave, we are investing into you. And as you can see, we want to make sure we have a commitment to challenging and illuminating educational experiences that give the students the knowledge and tools to identify their passion, find their light, and impact the world. What's really neat about our campus, it's about 1,500 students, but if you see that ratio, it's about 8-to-1 from student to faculty ratio. It's a very individualized, very intimate setting where your professors are going to know how you tick and talk way more than even I do. You know, being the director of human performance, as well as a football coach, I'm around you guys about as much as anybody. Those professors on our campus Want to make sure that the moment you walk into the classroom, if they notice something that's going on with your body language, that they can go to the right people, whether that be a coach, academic advisor, career center, whoever it may be, to make sure that we are truly giving you everything and then some to help you succeed in your wildest ways. Our students' accessibility to the professors is one of the best in the country, hands down. We've all, as a coaching staff, been at different institutions with a different size of populations of students. To be able to have the ability to have that kind of close classroom intimacy and then accessible professor hours allows you to just go deeper than just understanding what we're trying to teach you from a basis level of making sure you get good grades, but to truly help formulate what it is that you're passionate about and help you get you to where you want to be. What Coach Aker will talk about later, I think, in terms of our academic game plan, it's hard not to see the investment that's being made here on a daily basis with our student body. Okay. Again, talk to you a little bit about kind of the rankings that we're known for, in the last few years, and again, these rankings are based on the Princeton Review, U.S. News and College, World College Report, could be even Wall Street Journal. We even have one about Forbes, about our alums. But for the last few years, we are known as the #1 liberal arts college in the state of Wisconsin. Okay. We're known as the number 10 best school in small college in the Midwest. We're one of the top 50 best value colleges in America in terms of what we offer you from an academic standpoint, what we do from our career center, and then our placement after your time here at Lawrence University, obviously being the nature of a Division III football program. What's that value rank in terms of how we financially aid package people? That's a big deal. And we've been able to, for the last few years, be in that top 50, top threshold of public and private institutions and universities across America. First year experience is a big deal. Now, I know a lot of colleges and universities will talk to you guys about retention rate. At Lawrence University, our retention rate for our first years is nearly above 90%. Okay, which is pretty remarkable, one of the tops in the country. And you can see that we rank as one of the best first year experiences. We're a top 75 best liberal arts college in the country. And then again, just to kind of hit on that from the Princeton Review, best value colleges based on the academics, the affordability, and career outcomes of graduates. It's pretty impressive what we do here. Just to give you guys an idea of how we go beyond just what we teach academically and what our professors do. There are career communities, which are a cluster of similar career paths grouped together to help you better explore your areas of interest once you join us here at Lawrence. There are 8 design communities to help you find opportunities to discover resources and more professional connections. The communities are designed to provide you with internship funding opportunities between your freshman and sophomore year, your sophomore and junior year, and then, of course, junior and senior year. Field specific workshops and program and resources. That way, we're not just throwing you out there in the summertime, that we're going to be able to connect you, whether that's with prominent alums or people that are in that area specific with that are interested in your career path, to work with them and help you build your resume and get you into the right contacts with people. We also want to, again, connect you with our alumni in all of our areas of interest. You have one-on-one appointments with our specialist advisors and more. When you look at these 8 career clusters, they're focused on healthcare and medical professions, physical and nature sciences, visual and performing arts, nonprofit, education and social impact, communication, journalism and written arts, government, law and international affairs, business and entrepreneurship, which has done a really great job in the last couple of years since it started here at Lawrence University, and then technology and data science. All right. Again, just to kind of highlight a few of our outcomes, 99% of our graduates have been employed or continuing their education within 6 months of graduation. All right. The Lawrence, from our standpoint as a coaching staff, the last thing we ever want to see is a football player leave Lawrence University and tell us, well, we don't know what we're doing now. What's next for us? Am I going to continue my education? Am I going to go get a job? Our guys leave our campus in May already knowing what their next steps to life are. Okay. We are ranked number 17 in terms of STEM PhD producer in the country. All right. Our pre-sciences are phenomenal. We have a couple of football players that are high up on our academic board that are gonna, that are getting ready for their MCATs and getting ready for medical school. We are number 26 in terms of the Grateful Gratitude Graduates Index. Okay, pretty much identifying, most happy and successful alumni base. We're in that ranking for them. And then the 78 recipients of the prestigious Watson Fellowship. The Watson Fellowship is a one-year grant for purposeful and independent exploration outside the United States. That fellowship is in partner with 41 institutions with the likes of places like Bowdoin, Carleton, Amherst. Lawrence University is very fortunate to be a part of that. And over the years, we've been able to collect nearly 80 recipients of that prestigious Watson Fellowship. So whatever it is that you guys aspire to be and pursue off the football field, we have that capability and abilities here. We have over 65 majors that you guys, I'm sure, in the times that coaches have connected with you in the springtime and over the summertime, have been able to explore and look at and can ask more questions and talk to us as coaches or even your point person from admissions counselors. But whatever it is in the liberal arts education, there is no closing the door. If anything, we open more doors. We have a lot of capabilities to make sure that whatever it is that you aspire to be, we have the tools and the resources to invest into you. I'm going to pass it over to Coach Weave as he'll talk a little bit about some of our campus.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. So right here, just want to give you guys a little bit more about not only Lawrence itself, but the city that we live in, that's Appleton, Wisconsin. So within here, Lawrence is actually founded in 1847. One of the beautiful things about that is that the city of Appleton sort of grew around Lawrence. So right here, we can see a snapshot of just a little bit of Lawrence, but also extending into that College Avenue or the main street of Appleton there. So Coleman Hall being our last hall on that side of campus. As soon as you step off, right into downtown. So that being mom and pop shops, different places to eat, as well as different things to do not only on College Avenue, but in the surrounding area. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but just wanted to give you a little bit of what Lawrence itself has. So, like I said, Lawrence built in 1847, has a lot of history, but also we're looking forward to what we have in the future too. So on the left-hand side, you can see a little bit of that history. So that's Memorial Chapel. That's where we do a lot of our different big sort of group events. So that could be from our convocation or having guest speakers come in and talk to us, as well as our conservatory events. So a lot of different performances and things that we host within that place. And then talking about our future, in 2021, our president decided to take out 56 million from our endowment, not only to emphasize our facilities, but also our academic curriculum, and then some of the things that we have to offer for our students. So on the top right, you can sort of see Fox Commons, which will be on board in 2024. So in the fall, we'll have our first group of roughly around 90 students living in that place. So that's going to be apartment style living, open to not only seniors and super seniors, but also talking about our learning communities too. So business and entrepreneurship, as well as our pre-med students are able to live in those houses. Down below it, the museum or the Trout Museum of Art is going to be another building built and completed in 2026. So not only is that going to house business and entrepreneurship specifically, but also on the third and fourth floor, we'll have a few residence halls that will be available to those students who want to live there. Awesome. So talking about Wards Campus Center. So for you guys, Wards Campus Center is going to be the best place for you to go as a student. You're going to basically be living there outside of your dorms and outside of being an academic student. So within there, on the third floor, as soon as you enter, you'll see a few different things, not only for meeting rooms, large rooms, as you can see in the top left corner, that are big for not only the big group events, but also hosting a few different events that go on to our living and learning communities, but also to honor the different students that we do have on campus. But also on the third floor, we do have one of our eateries, so Kaplan's Cafe. more of your a la carte style living or a la carte style eating. So hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, all those good things. And then downstairs on the first floor, we do have another option known as Andrew Commons. So that's going to be more of your buffet style meal swipe. Get a lot of good food in you, a lot of different options, exciting things for that. I want to talk to you a bit more about our academic buildings. So on the left-hand side is actually Main Hall. So back in 1848, that was the first building ever built on campus. And it's a part of our historic landmarks and buildings, so it'll stand for the test of time. Like I said, Lawrence is a big deal about the history, but also honoring the future. So on the right, on the top right, excuse me, you'll see Stites and Young Child Hall, a little bit more of our sciences, and a few different classrooms looped within there too. Actually named after Thomas Stites, one of our professors that used to teach at Lawrence and actually won a Nobel Prize in chemistry. So really excited to not only have that to Lawrence, but one of the people that impacts the young students that we do have on campus. And then in our bottom right, you can see one of our dormitories. That is actually Hyatt Hall. So that's more of your suite style living. I like to call it hotel style living. One of our best places to live on campus, beautiful view of the river, and it's honestly one of the best things that we do have on campus. Lastly, to give you a bit of a sense of some of the classrooms that you'll be in. So on the left-hand side and on the top, or excuse me, the bottom right, you can sort of see those lecture halls. Like we said, putting in 56 million to our facilities just to make sure that we have not only the technology, but also incorporate that student collaboration piece there too. So you'll see a lot of different areas where you can collaborate with not only your peers, but also your professors. And then to give you a little bit of an insight on what those classroom settings do look like, as you can see in the top right, sort of that intimate feel, not only with your professors, but also your peers. You'll be able to ask questions, collaborate, do all the things you need to be a really successful student on campus. So I'm going to pass it over to Coach Nat. Coach Nat, feel free to take it away.
Fantastic. Thanks, Coach Weave. Coach Weave had mentioned it. So Appleton, Wisconsin and Lawrence University pretty much go hand in hand in terms of the school being around nearly as long as the town and as the city. You're looking at a city of about 75,000 in what is both geographically and culturally the heart of the Fox Valley area in northeast Wisconsin. And it's called the Fox Valley because, as you can see in this picture here, the Fox River flows through the city of Appleton. The Fox River flows directly through the center of campus. And so it's a great setting year round. And again, Appleton is really kind of the cultural center of a metropolitan area, let's call it, of about 400,000 people. That includes Green Bay to the north, 30 minutes. And let's face it, football is king in the state of Wisconsin. We've got the Green Bay Packers, a half hour to the north. I have the opportunity to live in Green Bay. So Green Bay and Appleton, and then Oshkosh to the south are very much connected. And so, you know, if football is in your future, it's a great place to be because people really rally around football in the area. And no disrespect to any other schools that may be in small towns throughout the Midwest or other parts of the country, but it's really nice that, you know, Appleton is relatively an easy place to get to. We've got two airports that service the area, Appleton International Airport, as you can see, and they're investing a lot of money into Appleton International Airport right now, and so in many cases it's even easier to get to Appleton via the airport. We also have Austin Straubel International Airport up in Green Bay, again, only a half hour away. And so you're certainly not in the middle of nowhere, and it's easy to get to. Major interstates feed the area as well. They're even talking about adding Amtrak through the Fox River Valley here, as the entire area, and this includes Appleton, is preparing for the 2025 NFL draft. That is absolutely going to affect this area in a positive way. They're talking $90 million in terms of economic impact in the area here in the next year. The area just to the south in Oshkosh just got done with EAA, which is the largest fly-in of experimental aircraft in the world. And so they were discussing the economic impact of that here just the other day on the news. I believe the EAA brings in 170 million to the Fox Valley area, and again, Appleton is very much a part of that. Football is king in this area, but there are other opportunities, there are other things for college age students to do. We've got minor league sports here. Appleton specifically has minor league baseball. There is NBA G League basketball to the south in Oshkosh. That's a 20-minute drive. Obviously, the Packers to the north. We understand if you guys aren't Packer fans. I'm Wisconsin born and raised, so I am a Packers fan. However, your favorite team, more than likely, your favorite NFL team when they come and play the Packers, is more than likely going to stay downtown Appleton at one of the hotels downtown, and that's kind of how interwoven the entire area of Northeast Wisconsin is. Most NFL teams will actually fly into Appleton, stay downtown the night before the game, and then get police escort up to Green Bay prior to the game on a Sunday, and then fly out of Green Bay. So again, this whole area is very much connected. So a lot of things to do from that standpoint. The Fox City Performing Arts Center is certainly a highlight of downtown, and it's blocks from campus, and it's one of the things that helps keep a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants, and a lot of hotels open and flourishing. If there's a major production coming to Northeast Wisconsin, more than likely it is coming to the Fox City Performing Arts Center. It's a top-notch place. So again, Appleton really being the cultural center of things. Coach has it listed on here. We are approximately 10 miles north of Lake Winnebago, one of the largest lake in the state of Wisconsin. And so, if ice fishing is your thing, they've got something called the Battle on Bago every winter, and people get their ice shanties out on the ice, and they do some ice fishing and have a kind of competition that way. If skiing or snowboarding is your thing, I would say you're probably a half hour to 40 minutes away from area ski hills, snowboarding hills, hunting, fishing, you name it. And so if your thing is to get outdoors during your free time, the Appleton area, Northeast Wisconsin, can certainly offer you a lot of opportunities that way. Another thing that drives a lot of economic impact to the Appleton area is the Fox River Mall, which, depending on who you listen to, I'll go with Wikipedia. I believe it is the second largest mall in the state of Wisconsin. And so, and obviously a lot of economic growth around the Fox River Mall. And so I know that as Lawrence students, you have access to the Appleton Valley Transit bus system, and that can get you out to places like the Fox River Mall and other places nearby as well. It's a big city. From a Wisconsin perspective, 75,000 as listed. It's just big city enough, but at the same time, I always say you're 15 minutes away from some of the largest dairy farms in the state of Wisconsin. So it's a great mix of sort of big city feel, with campus being just to the east of downtown, but at the same time also a very small town feel. So I believe it's the best of both worlds, and I think that's why so many of our guys love it.
We're going to kind of piggyback right off of Coach Knapp and show you this quick video of the city of Appleton. Well, DeSalle wasn't playing on that. Apologize, but we'll go to Kozinski.
All right, welcome everybody. Coach Sos here. I know it says I'm on Thomas Hoy's computer, but I am Coach Sos, and really excited to be able to talk about the recruiting timeline. And we're just a unique place here at Lawrence. I know you guys have probably all had at least one opportunity to be on someone else's virtual visit presentation. And while there will be some similarities for Lawrence and all those things, there will be some differences as well. So don't be afraid to ask questions to your specific recruiting coach if there are some things that are a little bit confusing to you. That's totally normal. And I think that it's important that you guys have numerous conversations about the recruiting timeline, the application, financial aid, as you guys continue through this process, as we get into your guys' season, and then past that further into your senior year. So most of you have already sent us your transcript if that was available to you. I know that some high schools have a really hard time giving out that 6th semester transcript. I would say that if you haven't gotten it to your coach yet, to do a really good job of getting that to them once you get back into school. And we would love to see your senior year schedules as well, if possible, just because rigor in your classes that you guys are selecting is important to our admissions counselors while they're reviewing your application come application time. You can see here that our application is already live, the Lawrence University app, and the common application becomes live on August 1st, just here in a couple of days. To our admissions counselors, you can do either one. When I think about it, it's important to make sure that if you're sending your common app to, 15 to 20 different schools, it's important to make sure that you go through and you're really taking your time on those questions. And because some of those schools, they might be easier to get into than others, whereas we really want to make sure that, in terms of our admissions counselors, when they're looking at your application, they're going to be looking at every single thing that you write, as well as the way that you write it, and are you capitalizing letters? Are you using punctuation? Are you doing all those things? So make sure that if you are using that common app for a number of different schools, that you do a great job of filling it out very well the first time if you only plan on doing it once. But don't be afraid to go back in and edit that out periodically if you need to. Once we get past this, application time right now, and that'll go all the way through the rest of your senior year. But in terms of us and moving forward, our season, our players actually report on August 11th, and that'll begin our season. I'm sure a number of you will already begin your season before that. But once we get into our season, things do tend to slow down a little bit. We have to make sure that we take care of business over here in Appleton, and make sure that we have all of our guys doing the right things, and make sure that they're learning their playbooks and preparing for our long season. So once really we get through fall camp, then we kind of start to pick things back up again with recruiting. But please just understand that if we're not reaching out to you guys, you can always reach out to us, and we're not doing it on purpose. We're just really busy with our players, putting in long hours and long days. Once we get done with our season, and we will also be in touch about game day visits while that's going on. You guys are, we're not able to get out to neighboring states or further out states to see your guys' home games, even though we wish that we could. We have, with our seasons being on Saturday, our games being on Saturdays, it's just not an option. So I know that in the past we've had some guys reach out to us and tell us their schedule for their seasons. It's just not really possible to get to any of your home games, if it's outside of a 3 or 4 hour drive. But we will extend game day visits to invites to you guys. Feel free to come if it works out for your schedule, but we understand that it is a really tough turnaround from a Friday night game to a Saturday, Friday night flight or Saturday morning flight. So we understand that too. And then moving forward to the postseason, where we'll be coming to see the neighboring states in school. And then as we progress along, if we are moving along in that recruiting process with some guys, we could also get out to states further out and see you guys in school and see you guys in home, and continue to further that relationship that we're building with you. And then really the goal is to get our top recruits on campus in January and February for our top recruit visit dates. So that's where we really take care of everything, where we show you campus, we talk about football, we show you all of our facilities, and you spend a whole lot of time with our players. And we always have events that we do while we have you guys here with us, and it's just a really great time. But that's really the goal of everything in this recruiting timeline, is to get the correct people that we feel are correct for Lawrence University, that are correct for Lawrence University football, out here for an official visit. Because once we get you guys here for an official visit, we have very high percentages in terms of who commits on those dates. So we're not just going to invite those dates to anybody. We definitely will feel like it works for us. We feel like you are the right fit for Lawrence University and for the football program. And if everything goes well, we think that you're going to be a good fit in terms of the application and admission to Lawrence too. So as you can see here, we do have 4 different application rounds. This is something that we'll definitely bring. We'll have conversations with you in terms of each recruiting coach. We'll talk to you about early decision, early action 1 and 2, and then regular decision. But very quickly, early decision, as you can tell, the deadline is very soon. And if you don't know what early decision is, it really is a binding decision. Whereas if you are to get admitted into the school, as long as it works for you and your family financially, you basically are signing a contract that says you are going to be going to Lawrence University or whatever school you end up going to early decision in. Sometimes I'll be talking to a recruit and they say, oh, I'm going ED to this school. And I'm like, oh, well, that kind of, ends this process for us, because if you get in there, which you probably will, because a lot of the people that we recruit are really high academic individuals, it really just ends that process. So make sure that, one, you understand really what early decision means at each institution that you're talking to. And if you do decide to go early decision, please let us know, because that kind of changes things for us in terms of how we're going to proceed with you as a recruit. Early action 1 and early action 2 are really where we get most of our applicants, because we want you to apply as soon as you possibly can. So that way you can get your decision, get your financial aid, and have everything that you need to make your decision whenever you're ready to do that. But these are not binding rounds. These are, as you can tell, you get your application in by a certain date, you get notified, and you're good to go. You can make your decision whenever you're ready to, but we definitely make a lot of hay in the early action 1 and early action 2 rounds. And then regular decision, that really just runs from, January 15th deadline all the way to the end of the school year for you guys. It's really just for the people that missed early action 1 and early action 2. All 3 of them realistically are the same thing when it comes to requirements and what it all entails. So Lawrence App, Common App, talked about that. Go for either one. Sorry, can we just go back real quick? I just had a little bit more there. Lawrence App, Common App, go ahead and do whichever one that you like. If you want to get some extra brownie points from our admissions counselors, feel free to do the Lawrence App. And then what do we look for in the application? So like I talked about earlier, it's how do you fill out the application? What exactly are you saying? How are you answering those questions? And are you writing it out in a way that you would be proud of as an English student at your school? And then as well as that, we'll need your official transcript needs to get sent in by your counselor at school, as well as a school report form from your counselor. And both of those things are required. That we need those things for our admissions counselors to read your full application and to then award you a scholarship, in which that's something that I'll end up talking about in a little bit here. And then we also require a teacher recommendation letter, and that rec letter should be from a teacher, and that is not a football coach. We'll accept it, but our admissions counselor would then ask you again for a new one, because they want to see it from one of your teachers. But a number of different things that go into the application. Once again, if you ever have any questions about that, please reach out to your recruit coach, and they can go through this with you anytime that you'd like. And then financial aid. So we have scholarships here. We're blessed to have merit scholarships. Not every school, is able to do that. Some people are just need-based financial aid. They don't have any merit scholarships. So we're lucky to have a combination of both. So from a scholarship standpoint, I believe that we ranged from $27,000 to $36,000 per year last year when it came to our merit scholarships. I would expect that to stay the same or even go up a little bit more. So that's always a cool thing for our students to be able to get one of those high scholarships. And then what goes into that scholarship? Well, it's a combination of your transcript and the rigor and the overall grades that you received on that transcript. It comes down to your school report form that your counselor sends in. It's going to be the rec letter, and it's going to be how you filled out your application and how you answered all those questions, how well you come across as a high academic liberal arts student. We are looking for the best and the brightest students to come to Lawrence and to continue to make this place better and better. So when our admissions counselors are reviewing applications, they look at all those things, and they will then, one, say this person is admitted or this person is not admitted. And then if you are admitted, they're going to give you a merit scholarship amount when they send you that acceptance letter. So then the FAFSA comes in, and that's the next piece. And FAFSA, of course, is your parents' financial information as well as yours. And all that really we get from that is a number that tells us how much money that your parents can afford to pay for college. And unfortunately, not every parent is going to agree with that number. And unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do about that number, but it's good for us to have an open conversation about that number and how you guys feel about it. Because if we don't have any idea of what you guys can actually afford versus what that number is that the government says you can afford, there's always going to be a little bit of a gap in understanding between the recruit coach and the recruit. So please have that conversation at some point. There's a whole lot of different times for conversations as you guys go through this long process with us, and that will probably be one of them. And so don't be afraid to have your parents chime in and give some understanding into what your financial situation is as a family and allow us to help you moving forward. But between the scholarships and then that FAFSA, we usually make things work pretty well here. We get pretty close to need-based financial aid, and that is the goal for every financial or every academic institution. Additional materials, we can end up asking for a number of different things, but the first stage is really getting the FAFSA in, and then step 2 is getting either the CSS in, because a lot of high academic liberal arts schools do ask for the CSS. So if you're going to do that, feel free to pay the $12 or whatever it is and send us the code or put our code into your CSS and do it that way. Or you can do a Lawrence Supplemental app, which is free, and it's basically the same thing as the CSS, but just understand that you can't fill out the Lawrence Supplemental until we receive your FAFSA. And then, like I said, amongst that, there are a few other different things that we could be asking for, but once again, another conversation that you can have with your recruit coach. And then the only thing I want to touch on in terms of rounds is, once again, that we guarantee need-based financial aid during the early decision round. We do not guarantee it during any of the 3 other rounds. So if need-based financial aid is something that you guys deem as very important, if you think that money is going to be a big component to your decision when it comes to college, then it's important for you to talk about early decision, but having an understanding that if you do go early decision, that it is still a binding decision based off that financial aid paperwork. And just overall, it's a very good opportunity here at Lawrence, but we want to make sure that you have a great understanding of it through and through.
Cameron's not responding. That's blessed.
Turn it over to you, Coach Aker.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Sos. You saw it on the first slide. You see it here again, that buzzword, don't flinch. I'm going to take a couple moments here just to talk to you a little bit about our flinch-free mentality, that overarching theme of our football family that we've put together, that we have seen allow our young people to achieve the success and accomplish the goals in which they're looking to do. Our flinch-free mentality really breaks down into 4 main pillars. Our first pillar of the flinch-free mentality is have a plan. And the thought process is simple, gentlemen, all right? With a plan, our chance of success is exponentially higher. Without a plan, our chance of failure is exponentially higher. We are going to have a plan for you every single day, academically, in the weight room, out there on the football field, right? We're going to have a plan for your success, and we're going to hold you accountable, all right, to going and accomplishing that plan, right? Finishing your plate every single day so that you can be successful. Our second pillar of the flinch-free mentality, attack adversity like a champion. One of the guarantees in life, right? Death, taxes, and adversity. It's a guarantee. We know it's coming, and we're going to teach you how to attack it the right way. Certainly starts with having that plan, but even more so, the connections. You guys understanding that every single day you have these resources at your fingertip, these coaches that are working with you, and together there's nothing that we can't accomplish. Our third pillar of the flinch-free mentality is exemplifying effective communication. One of the most important but yet forgotten skills. I think everybody on this call right now is probably very talented with their thumbs and getting a message out, but learning how to communicate and communicate effectively is going to be such a powerful tool for your success, not only as an athlete and as a student, but even more so in your life after LU. And then our fourth pillar, and probably my favorite pillar, all right, is that developing that burning desire and passion to compete and lifelong learn. I'm a firm believer that competition is good, and we are going to learn to compete every single day in all facets of our life. But to be able to compete at the highest level at all times, we have to always be learning. That willingness and love to continue to learn and grow is one of the easiest ways to fight complacency and one of the easiest ways to continue to be successful. I can certainly talk about our flinch-free mentality for hours, but I wanted to give you a snippet so that you start to understand that when our guys hear one another say "don't flinch," and how quickly it clicks, and we're able to bounce back into it and get back after the things that we're trying to accomplish, it's a great deal. We put it up everywhere. It's something that we certainly believe in, and it's all built and geared and designed around your ultimate successes. As we transition into our academic game plan, we talked about having that plan for you. Our academic game plan is multifaceted. It certainly starts with understanding where you're at as a student when you get here, and then making sure that we're putting you in a position to be successful. We have 24-hour sheets that our guys fill out every single week. You are going to have an individual academic coach within our staff. We're going to meet weekly, talking about your 24-hour sheet, your plan, how you're doing, staying organized, talking about the classes that you're taking, having some phenomenal conversations. We love taking advantage of learning from you. I couldn't get into Lawrence University. I'm thrilled to be the head football coach here, but we take full opportunity to learn from you guys. We do our study tables in our Center for Academic Success over in our library, making sure that when we are doing those controlled study hours, that you are in groups with your teammates, really working that Viking on Viking interaction, right? Knowing that we have high achieving students here, coupling you guys together to make sure that we're holding one another accountable, but also able to bounce ideas off of. And in so many cases, you may have the answer to the question that your teammate asked, or vice versa. But also being there with our tutors. We offer tutors for every class that we have on campus, making sure that those resources are right there at your fingertips so that you can be as successful as you can possibly be in the classroom. Encouraging you to connect with your professor. We ask you to do it at the beginning of the term, and that's one of the first places that we point you anytime that we see a little bit of trouble or maybe a lack of understanding, being able to connect with them. And it all kind of culminates on getting yourself on our flinch-free academic wall. That's 3.0 term GPAs or higher, and it's strategically placed right at the front of our office suite so that when our administration, our alums, other athletes, coaches, visitors to our campus come into our football suite, the first thing that they see is our young people that are taking care of business on both sides of campus, over in the classroom as well as over here in our athletic facilities. Your academic success and your academic endeavors are always going to be at the forefront of our thinking, and we're never going to jeopardize those with the game of football. Coach, if you want to go ahead and click, I'm sorry. The plan is detailed and based off of what you do from term to term. And so everybody starts doing our study tables. We're going to be in there 4 hours a week over in the CAS, making sure that we're getting great work done. And as you have success in the classroom, not just as you grow in your years on campus, but as you have success and show continual success, we start to loosen those reins a little bit. We do class checks, grade checks 3 times per term. Our coaches are doing class checks all the time. We have one rule here when it comes to class, and that's we go to class every single day. I never want you wasting your money or throwing it in the trash. And so we do our due diligence, making sure that we come over there as well. But every single term, we're going to get your grades. It's going to be evaluated, and you have an opportunity to start to phase out of study tables, or if we slip up and we have a rough term, we'll throw you back in there. Not as a punishment, but to make sure that you can be successful as we continue to grow. And as you continue to grow, more and more professions are starting to ask for transcripts. And just turning in a transcript of an average student is not always going to help you be successful in that job search, right? And so making sure that our guys are being incredible in the classroom, achieving high grades, and then parlaying that into success after LU is so important to what we do. And our academic game plan is a fundamental piece of the academic success that our students have on our campus.
All right, cool. Thanks, Coach. Jumping into the Viking defense now. First time defensive coordinator here. We just installed our defense for the first time, of course, in the spring. Looking forward to getting to install it a second time now in the fall. But we look forward, time flies. It's going to be January and February here. And before you know it, even though we wish it wouldn't be, but on our official visits, we would then be able to watch some film with you guys in your specific position groups and talk to you about what we do and like what we see in you and how we would see you being a part of this defense. But don't have a whole lot of film yet. So we're going to talk a little bit about who we are. And if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to me or Coach Reardon or Coach Knapp, and we can answer any of those questions. But who we are, we're a multiple front, 3 high safety defense. So we're a 3-down defense with 3 safeties. So when you think about that, we are pretty unique. We match an offense personnel group with our best personnel given the matchups and situations. I mean, that, every single play, you have a coach who's looking at the personnel of the offense, and we're going to make sure that we have a really good personnel group out there to match that. The 3 C's of our defense: confusion, pre-snap look to confuse the offense. We're unique. So even us out there in our base defense is still going to be different than most of the defenses that they see throughout the season. Conflict, force offenses to change their play protections with pre-snap alignments. So because of us being so unique and because of our ability to change and move and, change the picture, we're going to make offenses do things that they haven't had to do throughout the course of their season. And we hope that low rep count is going to force them to do things incorrectly as much as possible. And then with chaos, confusion plus conflict equals chaos. And it's awesome the way we blitz. We blitz from our normal base alignment. So realistically, the offense should never really know when we're blitzing, and we like to send as many people as we can. And we're just very chaotic out there, and we're flying around. What we are looking for, we're looking for loyalty and committed individuals that are rooted in our values and the flinch-free mindsets. Like I said, this goes back to square one of our recruiting process. We look for people that are going to be a great fit for Lawrence University and will be a great fit for the Lawrence football program. Very rarely are we going to find anyone that's great for the football program but not great for Lawrence University. We're not going to recruit that person because we want people that love school and love football. We want people that are unrelenting. They compete every single day. As a coaching staff, we love competing. So if we're bringing in people that don't want to compete, we're just not going to mesh. You're not going to want to be around us because we're just going to seem insane to you. We want people that are self-driven. No one works harder than you guys, and you're never going to stop. We want people that want to be at the front of the line every single time. We don't want to take breaks, full gas pedal at all times. You're invested. You guys are going to be invested. You guys are going to put in way too much time to this football family to not, you wouldn't want to stick around if you weren't invested in everything that we were doing. And you guys can understand that with all the time and investment that we show you as a coaching staff, you're going to want to match that from day one. And you guys are going to want to live that life. And then grounded and selfless. So we want people that are humble and self-assured. They always know where we come from, and that's going to give you guys strength. So we want people that are doing things the right way. We talk about winning and losing the right way. In my eyes, as a defensive coordinator, we want to do things the right way every step of the way. Winning and losing, whether we win the game or we lose the game, we're doing it the Lawrence way, the way that Coach Aker lays out for us. It really would disappoint me as a defensive coordinator if we're playing great, 4 quarters of the game, doing things the way that we ask you to, but then we, towards the end of the game when it comes time to win, and we start doing things the wrong way, we still win the game, but we're not doing things the way that Coach Aker lays out for us. It'd be really hard moving forward that way. So we're always looking for people that are just going to do things the way that the Lawrence football staff are asking you to do that. What will drive our success? A growth mindset. We're going to be young, in every state, phase of the way, because we have some upperclassmen in this defense right now, but we just installed for the first time. So now we're basically freshmen again as a defense. But how quickly can we take all that information and that knowledge of the defense and become juniors and seniors on the football field with it? It's going to be an awesome track to see how our guys do that. Align, assign, and execute. That's how we take a look at everything that we do. Phase 1 is just getting aligned, which at first, you'd think that it would be really easy, but it still takes some time. Know your assignment, and then go ahead and execute. 11 hats to the ball at all time. I think every defensive player that loves defense, if you're not getting close to the ball, then what are we even doing out there? You guys should want to be getting a chance of either making the tackle or getting the ball out on the tackle every single time, and then adapt to the situations. Hey, it's going to be a long season. I know you guys' high school seasons might seem long sometimes, but taking the hits every single day in college football is completely different. And just being able to, stay through the course from day one of fall camp to that last game in week 11. It's a long season, and a lot of different things are going to happen. Might ask people to change positions for a week or two, but just being able to go with the flow and do what's best for the Lawrence Viking football team every single day. Over to you, Coach Aker.
All right, our Viking offense. Guys, we're a multiple offense, pistol based. We have a heavy RPO feel to what we do. When our offense is really clicking, we're allowing our guys to make decisions on the field for us. All right, we're able to run our offense out of any personnel group, so we are constantly evaluating the guys on the offensive side of the ball. And when you check us out on film, you'll see us in 0 personnel empty. You'll see us in 13 personnel with 3 tight ends there. Ramming the football in the A gap. It's always going to be about our guys and then making sure that we're putting you in a great position to be successful. We're always going to look to identify our 5 best offensive linemen. All right. And so our competition level on our side of the ball is never about being the best guy at one spot. All right. If you're the best running back, but you're the 6th best skill, well, then we're going to be out there without a back. And then, as we build our package, and look for those guys that are going to come in and join you join that way. We spend a ton of time offensively as a staff. One, making sure that what we do offensively fits your skill set and not the other way around. We don't try to we don't try to jam square pegs into round holes. We're able to be flexible on our side of the football to make sure that at all times we're accentuating your strengths and putting you in a position to be successful. Our 3 C's are our hallmarks of a championship offense. First and foremost, we got to get you comfortable. We get comfortable by learning, practicing, watching that practice and repeat, right? It's that constant ebb and flow of learning what you're supposed to do, going out there, taking reps at it, spending time in your room or with your teammates studying it, and then getting back out there and doing it again. It's my goal as the head football coach that every single young person that's a part of our football family ultimately finds their way out there on the football field on Saturdays. But each and every single one of us are going to have to earn the opportunity to get out there on the football field. And one of the easiest ways to do that is getting comfortable very, very quickly. As you get comfortable, you start to get confident, right? We earn confidence by getting comfortable with urgency and competing every single day. And then going out there understanding that every day is an interview. We're going to challenge you to change your best. I'm one of those guys that always talks about looking in the mirror and not out the window. And so when we have a great day, can we stack another great day on top of it? Can we stack another great game on top of it and keep getting better? As we get comfortable and get confident, that's when we're able to be consistent, right? Consistency happens when comfortable and confident players display character and discipline daily, right? The guy that is the most consistent, all right, at doing their job. Coach Sos touched on it. It's the same thing. We evaluate based off alignment, assignment, and execution. If you know where you're supposed to be, you know what you're supposed to do, and you can execute at a high level, we're going to put you out there on the football field and let you make plays for our football family. What will drive our success? Growth mindset, right? Same thing on the defense. You willing to come in and learn, all right, understanding your role and responsibility as quickly as possible, all right, and then going out there and doing your best to execute it at a high level. Understanding that this is different. All right, your guys' transition from high school football to college football is going to be different. So following those 3 C's, having that open growth mindset, willing and ready to learn, humble and hungry is going to allow you to be successful, which is ultimately going to allow our offensive unit, our defensive unit, and our special teams groups to be successful as well. We want to set the tempo. We're a no-huddle offense. We signal everything from the sideline, and we love to play with pace. But pace isn't for us. Is for the defense. And so we want to set the tempo. We want to dictate to the defenses that we're playing, all right, for 60 minutes every opportunity that we get. Understanding the difference between being a physical offense versus a finesse offense. When you hear about the RPO, when you see the no huddle, when you do some of the stuff that we do, at times some folks think that it's pretty. We run the football in the A gaps. I'm a firm believer that if we can control the A gap, we can control the football field. And we are a very physical offense. And so our guys adapting that mindset and going out there and being physical from the perimeter at the wide receiver position all the way down to the Appleton Moving Company. Our guys up front taking care of business, understanding that we're going to bang with our pads and our helmets. And we intend on leaving defenses black and blue at the end of the game. And then being willing and ready to rise to the occasion. In an offense like ours, you have to have guys that take pride in winning the one-on-one. Whether that's a one-on-one block up front, all right, that's one-on-one with a running back on a third-level defender, or that's one-on-one on the perimeter. We have to have guys to get RFH when it's their opportunity to go one-on-one and take advantage of winning that situation. Guys, it's been an incredible evening. Truly appreciate you coming and spending some time with us. I know we threw a ton of information out there at you, but you can certainly follow up with your recruiting coach, position coach, coordinators, and continue to learn more. I know that you guys are getting ready to start up right now, so I wish you the best of luck in your senior season. Go out there, enjoy the time with your brothers, enjoy the memories, making plays. We're going to continue to stay in touch. Hope you do the same, and looking forward to connecting with you in person as quickly as we can. Have a phenomenal rest of your evening. Good night, and don't flinch.